Today, we're going to talk about how you need to be flirting with your ex. And this is something that I feel most women don't really know how to do. So if you stick around to the end of this video, I'm going to give you my special flirting formula so that you'll know exactly how to flirt in not just situations with your ex, but situations in general going forward. But if you're watching this video, I can only assume that you're interested in some way, shape, or form with trying to get back with your ex. If that's the case, I would highly recommend that you stop over to our website, www.exboyfriendrecovery.com, and take our Ex Recovery Chances quiz. It's a simple 2 to 3 minute quiz designed to tell you what kind of chance you have of getting your ex back. Now, if you want to take the quiz, it is really easy. All you have to do is pause this video and look in the description link below the YouTube video. Simply click on that link and it will take you right to the quiz where you can get your answer, figure out if you have a chance, then come back and figure out how to flirt with your ex. Now, speaking of flirting with your ex, let's get to that flirting formula. So the main problem I've been witnessing over the years is that women don't really know how to flirt with men. Oftentimes they kind of are a little too forceful, or sometimes they're not forceful enough, or sometimes they are too ungettable. There's really a specific way that this needs to be done if you want to achieve the maximum results. Now, luckily for you, I've come up with a special formula to give you an idea or framework of how this is supposed to work. So here's the formula. Flirting equals attraction built plus challenge. It seems kind of rudimentary, doesn't it? I mean, you just need to build attraction and then present some sort of challenge, and that's considered flirting. Well, there's a little bit more nuances to it than just looking at it in that simple way. But here's the first thing you need to know. This is meant to be a framework. A lot of women come to these videos looking for magic phrases or specific magic bullet techniques to all of a sudden make their ex fall for them or stay engaged in conversations. It doesn't always work out that way. In fact, what you need isn't a special magic phrase. You need to understand the strategy before you start understanding tactics like what do I say or what do I do. So let's talk about that strategy and dissect the formula. Really, there's two things that we're needing to dissect right here. Attraction being built and challenges being presented. Let's tackle the attractions being built first. So this is as straightforward as it sounds. Attraction being built is basically you doing something to build attraction with whoever you're flirting with, whether that's your ex or a potential partner that you want to date. So there's many different ways to build attraction. This can be something like a simple sexy look across the way. It can be a smile. It can be a conversation that is attractive to the person. It can be something as a simple touch on the arm, a touch on the shoulder. There's many different ways that attraction can be built. That's pretty much what everyone who flirts understands. They know that attraction needs to be built in some way, shape, or form, and there's many different ways that men view attraction, or they view attractive qualities. Essentially, all you're having to do is just, in some way, shape, or form, build that attraction. But people who really are great at flirting understand the second part, and that's how do they present a challenge. So here's the main problem that I see with most women who I'm working with. They really get the attraction being built part, but they don't understand the challenge part. So essentially all they do is just build attraction, build attraction, build attraction. And eventually the person they're talking to, or in this case your ex, kind of figures out, I have this girl. I know I can have her whenever I want her. That's where the challenge comes into play. So how does that work? Well, if you really think about it, there's two emotional values to emotions in general. There's positive things and negative things. So when you feel emotional about something, it will either be in a positive way or a negative way. Think of it like this. People who are great at flirting know how to skirt the line between positive, negative, and then back to positive again. Essentially, they create this value change between positive emotions, negative emotions, which is the challenge, and then positive emotions back again, which is the attraction being built. But I still really haven't described what a challenge is. So in the most rudimentary terms, a challenge is anything that you do to show your ex that you're not as into him as he thinks you are, which in turn should create a negative emotional change within him. So think of it like this. He needs to feel positive. That's where the attraction being built comes into play. He needs to feel like he has you. But then you need to present a challenge which brings his positive emotional value to a negative emotional value. All of a sudden he's like, wait, what's going on? And then the people who are excellent at flirting, and this is really where this all comes into play, will do something again to build attraction, thereby basically putting your ex in a roller coaster of emotions. They go from emotionally positive situations to emotionally negative situations, and then back to emotionally positive situations. People who are great at dealing with exes, keeping them engaged, and flirting know how to do this. Now, you're probably sitting there and wondering, well, how does this work in the real world? Well, I've got a story to tell you. When I was 22 years old, I got a call from a friend of mine, a friend named Philip. He had just basically gotten a date with a girl on the dating app Plenty of Fish. The problem was he was supposed to travel at least 20 or 30 miles to go see the girl, and he was scared to do that alone. So he said, Chris, come on, let's do this. We'll jump in the car, I'll go meet this girl, and you can be kind of the third wheel. Now, me, being a super shy and super insecure dude, said, yeah, sure, I'll go with you. I got nothing better to do. So I went with him. So in we jump into the car. We're driving. It takes about 20 to 30 miles to get to where this girl is that he's gonna go on this date with. Now I know this sounds like an odd situation, but believe me, it's about to get odder. So we get to this place and it is like a country bar. I mean, we got full-blown cowboys with cowboy boots and cowboy jeans and cowboy hats. And then there's Philip and me, two guys who are dressed like millennials. We stuck out like sore thumbs. So already we're not off to a great start. Now, eventually he sees the girl that he had the date with, but they didn't really hit it off. In fact, the date lasted a total of about 5 or 10 minutes before she ran off with some other dude that she met at the bar. So Philip's kind of down, but he is obsessed with salvaging this night. We're already in a position that's probably not enviable. We're at this country bar dressed in millennial attire, and there's dudes and girls dancing in a country sort of swing dance or something like that. I'm not much of a dancer. In fact, I avoid it like the plague. So Philip's saying, dude, let's go on the floor, let's go dance, let's pick some girls up and dance. And I say, no, I am not gonna do that. So there is the two of us sitting on the sidelines, basically watching all of these couples dance and have fun, and we're just sitting watching this all happen. But both of us can't help but notice that there's this one girl who seems to dominate the dance floor. Not only is she the most attractive girl in the entire bar, but she is some sort of water dancer person. I've never seen anyone dance this well, and she had an interesting pattern. She would dance with a guy, the guy would get really excited, and then he's really invested, and then she would jump and dance with another guy. And then that guy would get excited, and he's really invested, then she would go and jump and dance with another guy. Now, at this point, she had only been dancing with guys on the dance floor. So Philip and I are looking at this girl and saying, like, that girl is way out of her league. Well, then she happens to look at me, and she's walking over, and I'm thinking, I can't believe it. This girl is about to walk over to me and she's getting closer, and I'm thinking, this has never happened to me before. And she is within an inch of me, where she turns to Philip and says, would you like to dance? So she's dancing with him all of a sudden. He's just loving it, and I'm sitting here and thinking, why did she pick him? I was the best looking guy. I'm better looking than Philip. Why the hell did she pick him? But she's dancing and they're having fun, and Philip is feeling really good about himself. But I have been witnessing the pattern. She will dance with a guy, get his hopes up essentially, and then move on and dance with another guy. But that didn't happen this time. Nope, they danced and danced and danced until the bar closed, till about 2 a.m. So there I am witnessing my friend's valiant triumph in front of me, feeling a little jealous. So Philip has his game going. I mean, he is just doing all the right things, saying all the right things. She seems into him. He's clearly into her. She's the best looking girl at the bar, so why wouldn't he be into her? And he gets her number. So he is excited. We jump into the car. We're going home. He looks at me and says, when should I text her? When should I text her? And I said, just text her now. What's the point of waiting? So eventually he texts her. Now he's really excited. So he texts her and he says, hey, it's Philip, the guy from the bar. Now she waits a few minutes to respond, and he at this point has his hopes up. I mean, he is uber excited. He feels like he just slayed the dragon, so to speak. All the best guys, he's gotten the best girl. So she basically said no to all the other guys at the bar, including myself, for him. Now he's texted her and he has visions of the two of them getting married, and he's a weird dude. But anyways, she texts back, Who? Now, I want you to think about that process for a moment. I told you the entire build up to that story to show you just how excited Philip had become. He had been on a date that didn't go well and then basically scored a date with the hottest girl at the bar. So when he texts her, he is in a very positive emotional state. She's done everything right to build attraction. I can actually think you can make a case that she's done too much to build attraction because he's thinking he's got her in the bag, so to speak. So he texts her. He's feeling really good about himself, and then she texts him back with the challenge, challenging his perceptions of what reality really happened by simply saying, wait, who? All of a sudden he's thinking, wait, maybe I wasn't as important as I thought. Maybe I was just another one of those guys she was dancing with. He noticed the pattern that she was doing too, but this is where she really won him over. A few seconds, no, not seconds, maybe a few minutes after she had sent that second text, the challenge text, she sent him another text that basically said, oh yeah, I remember, you're the really cute guy I danced with last. Now, in case you hadn't realized, she understood how to play him with the emotional value changes. He went in and she understood that when he texted her, he was at a very highly positive emotional state. So she texted him something, a challenge that brought his emotional state down a little bit. He's disappointed, maybe on the verge of giving up when she saves it with that second text where she complimented him and basically called him cute, right? So he goes from positive to negative and then back up to positive again, but not as positive as he began. Instead of thinking, wow, I've got this girl in the bank, he's thinking, well, I need to be careful with this girl, but I am so into her. Ladies and gentlemen, that is how you're supposed to flirt. Remember, build attraction, present the challenge, and then build attraction again. And you have got yourself a perfect flirt. You know, if you really think about it, there are many different applications that this can be applied to. I'm sure in your own life, you've accidentally done something like this, where you've built attraction with someone and then presented a challenge without really meaning to. If you've done that, I highly encourage you to tell us about it in the comments below. And oh yeah, if you haven't already, make sure you click subscribe to our channel. And finally, last but not least, if you're wanting to get your ex back, the very best thing you can do for your situation is to figure out if you even have a chance at all. Now, doing that is really easy. Just look in the description link below and take my Ex Recovery Chances quiz. It's a simple 2-minute quiz designed to tell you what kind of chance you have of getting your ex back. Aren't you tired of me saying that? If you are, take the quiz so you don't have to worry about what I'm talking about all the time. I'll see you guys next time.